Good morning, class. The lecture begins with the chapter Physical Features of India. What is a peninsula or a peninsular plateau? So we'll see peninsula is a piece of land that is almost entirely surrounded by waters. Here you can see the three of the sides, they are surrounded by waters, but is connected to the mainland on the one side. As you can see here, a long piece of land that stand out from a larger area of land into the sea. So a larger area of land which is going outside into the sea. So when we talk about the peninsular plateau, it lies to the south of the northern plain. Okay, this lies to the south of the northern plain. Around 200 million years ago, when this Pangea it broke, India it started its movements toward north, toward the Asian plate. During this movement, a major event that occurred was the outpouring of the lava due to the convection current, rising the hot material to the crust and formation of the Deccan Trap. So this started around 60 million years ago and continued for a long period of times. Layer after layer was formed by the volcanic activity that lasted many thousands of years, and when the volcanoes it became extinct, they left a region of highland. Okay, they left a region of highland with vast stretches of flat areas on the top like a table. The plateau is a tableland as it resembles a table in having an elevated landform. Indian plateau is made up of igneous and metamorphic rocks. Igneous rocks, they are formed by the cooling and solidifying of the molten materials. The plateau has broad and shallow valleys and the rounded hills. The plateau, it consists of two broad divisions, the Central Highland and the Deccan Plateau. The Central Highland, okay, it lies to the north of the Narmada River. It covers the major portion of the Malwa Plateau. The Vindhya range, as you can see the Vindhya mountain or the range is bounded by the Central Highland on the south. And you can see the Aravalli on the northwest. And when we talk about the further westward extension, it gradually merged with the sandy and rocky desert of Rajasthan. So the flow of the river that is draining from this region, as you can see the flow of the river, the Chambal, the Sindh, the Betwa, the Ken, is from southwest to the northeast. Is from where? Southwest to the northeast, indicating the slope from the south to north. The Central Highland, okay, you can see they are wider. They are wider in the west, but they are narrower in the east. The eastward extension of this plateau, they are known as Bundelkhand and the Bagelkhand Plateau. The Chota Nagpur Plateau are the eastward extension, and it was drained by river Damodar. As Damodar river, it originates from Chota Nagpur Plateau. So the second broad division of the peninsular plateau is the Deccan Plateau. Okay, is a triangular land mass, as you can see here, that lie to the south of the river Narmada. And it is bounded by the Satpura range in the north, while you can see Mahadev, Mekal and Kaimur Hill from its eastward extension. And when we talk about its general slope, or its slope is from west to east, which is indicated by the flow of its major river, which is flowing from west to east and draining to the Bay of Bengal. Then you will see the peninsular plateau. It extends further east beyond the Rajmahal Hills station to form the Meghalaya or the Shillong plateaus, locally known as the Karbi Anglong Plateau and North Kachar Plateau. So here the prominent hills that ranges from the west to east are the Garo, the Khasi and the Jaintia hills. So now we will see the Western Ghat and the Eastern Ghat. So the Western Ghat, it marks the western edge of the Deccan Plateau, and the Eastern Ghat, it marks the eastern edge of the Deccan Plateau. Western Ghat, it lies parallel to the western coast, and Eastern Ghat, it also lies parallel to the eastern coast. So Western Ghat, okay, it starts from Gujarat and ending in Tamil Nadu, covering the state of Maharashtra, Goa, Karnataka and Kerala, okay. And they are continuous. There is a continuous chain of Western Ghat, and you can see it can be crossed only through the natural passes, or only through the passes which we call the natural routes. Whereas the Eastern Ghat, it spread across Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. It is a chain of highly broken and the detached hill. So you will see, starting from the Mahanadi in Odisha to the Vaigai in Tamil Nadu. So they almost disappeared. This Eastern Ghat, it almost disappeared between the Godavari and the Krishna rivers. There are few local names that is given to the Western Ghat, okay. Syadri in Maharashtra, Nilgiri Hills in Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, Annamalai Hills, okay, and Cardamom Hills in Kerala. The highest peak includes the Anaimudi and the Doda Beta in the Western Ghat, and you can see Mahendragiri, okay, is the highest peak in the Eastern Ghat. Shevroy and the Javedi Hills, they are also located southeast of the Eastern Ghats. Aravali Hills. The Aravali Hills, as you can see here in the map, it lie on the western and the northwestern margins of the peninsular plateau. So they stretch over Delhi, Haryana, Rajasthan and in the north of the Gujarat, in a southwest to the northeast directions. They are highly eroded hills and are found in a broken hills. As you can see here, they are highly eroded as well as they are found in a broken hills. The physiographic divisions of India, in which we read about the Great Indian Desert, it is located to the northwest of the Aravali Hills. As you can see, it is a sandy plains. Wavelength you can see here, covered with sand dunes. These regions, they receive low rainfalls below 150 mm per year. It has a arid climate with low vegetation. Streams It appeared during the rainy season. Soon after, they disappear into the sand as they do not have enough water to reach the sea. So Luni is the only river that drains this region, and Barkan, you can see a crescent shaped dunes. Okay, this cover the large areas, but here the longitudinal dunes or the linear dunes, as you can see here, it became more prominent near the Pakistan region or the Pakistan boundary. Coastal plains in India. So India is a country that is surrounded by sea on the three of its sides. The coastal plain in India are along the west and the east of the country, extending up to the 7,516.6 km. The coastal plain in India, they are of two types. One is the eastern coastal plain, another one is the western coastal plain. So now we see the eastern coastal plain. So when we talk about the eastern coastal plain, it stretches from West Bengal in the north to Tamil Nadu in the south and pass through Andhra and Odisha. Deltas of the river, you can see here Mahanadi, Krishna, Godavari, okay, Kaveri, they are present in the eastern coastal plain, or they drain into the Bay of Bengal. So the delta here, as the delta are present in the eastern coastal plain, you can see they are very fertile and they are very protective for agriculture. So the delta of river Krishna is also called the granary of South India. And you can see the eastern coast, okay, it is again divided into three categories. One is the Utkal coast, extending between Chilika and Kolero, okay, and then you will see they are much wider than the western coastal plains and undergo immense rainfall. Then we saw the Andhra coast here, which is extending up to the Pulicat Lake, and then here comes Coromandel coast, which is extending toward Kanyakumari. So now we talk about the western coastal plain. It stretches from Kerala in the south, and you will see to Gujarat in the north, passing through Karnataka, Goa and Maharashtra. So the western coastal plain is stretched for 1500 km north to south, and its width, it ranges from 10 to 25 km. As you can see here, it has a narrow width, and where you compare it with the eastern coastal plain, it has a broad width. So the western coastal plain, it is divided further into four categories. First, you can see Kutch and Kathiawar coast. It's formerly a gulf, is formed by the deposition of a silt by the river Indus. The area of Kutch is covered with shallow water during the monsoon and is divided into Great Run in the north and Little Run in the east. Great Run of Kutch, you will see here, whereas Kathiawar is situated to the south of this Kutch. Now you can see the Konkan coast, okay, it extends between Daman in the north. As you can see, Daman in the north to Goa in the south, and then comes Kannada coast between Marmagaon and Mangalore. Then we talk about very important Malabar coast, it extending between Mangalore to Kanyakumari. The Malabar coast is relatively broad. Here, this region, it also consists of lagoons running parallel to the coast in the southern Kerala. So now we will talk about the islands. The Andaman and Nicobar Island, it is situated in the Bay of Bengal, run like a narrow chain in the north and south direction, extending between 6 degree 45 minutes north to 13 degree 45 minutes north. So the archipelago is composed of around 265 big and small islands. You can see 203 islands in Andaman and 62 in Nicobar Islands. So the Andaman island, it is divided into 3 main islands, the north, the middle, and you can see the south Andaman. So the Great Andaman group of islands in the north is separated by 10 degrees. As you can see here, it is separated by 10-degree channel from the Nicobar group of island. So when we talk about the Great Andaman Nicobar Island, it is separated by Great Nicobar Nicobar group of island 10-degree channel. It separates both the islands. So the Port Blair, the capital of Andaman Nicobar Islands, it lies to the south of Andaman. As you can see here, it lies to the south of Andaman, the capital. Among the Nicobar Island, you can see the Great Nicobar is the largest and is very close to the Sumatra island of Indonesia. And the Car Nicobar is the northernmost. So most of these islands, they are made of tertiary sandstone, limestone and shale, resting on basic and ultra basic volcanoes. So as we talk about the formation of the island were due to the collisions between the Indian plates and the Burma minor plates, part of the Eurasian plates. And it is the southward extension of the Arakan Yoma range in Myanmar. Arakan Yoma in itself is an extension of the Purvanchal Hills. So the Barren Island, which is in the north of the Port Blair, you can see are the volcanic island. These are the only active volcanoes in India. Lakshadweep Island is the coral island situated in the Arabian Sea. Is a group of 36 islands having an area of 32 square kilometers and extending between 8 degree north and 12 degree north latitude. The main islands under the Lakshadweep group islands are the Kavaratti, Agatti, you can see Amini, Minicoy. Kavaratti is the administrative capital of the Lakshadweep Island. As you can see here, it is also the principal town of the Union Territory. The name Lakshadweep in Malayalam and Sanskrit means 100,000 islands. Okay. So 9-degree channels. Okay, it separate the Minicoy from the main Lakshadweep archipelago in the Lakshadweep region. The Piti Island, which is uninhabited, has a bird sanctuary. So students, we read about the different physiographic units, okay, which highlight certain or the unique features of each region. And each region, they complements the other and make the country richer in its natural resources. The mountains are the major source of water and forest wealth. The northern plains are the granaries of the country. They provide the base for early civilization. The plateau is the storehouse of mineral, which has played a crucial role in the industrialization of the country. The coastal regions and the islands groups, they provide site for fishing and ports activities. So you can see the diverse physical features of the land. they have immense future possibilities of development.